So this is part two. We've got our honey extractor, and that's draining into a strainer that's got a bucket with a honey gate on the front so that we can easily transfer the honey once we get it out of the frames. So I don't know if you can see, right, but this is a centrifuge. Things just you uncap the frame, which I'm about to show you. You drop it in here, it spins around real fast and spits the honey out into the colander here, and then it drips down and drains out the honey gate. So so here's a frame that I've got ready to uncap. You can see I've uncapped a few already. That's wax. So once we're done here, we can actually take that, render it down, and make candles and lip balm and things of that nature with it. So yeah, here, let me see if I can get the camera situated where you can see. Here. Really not good at this. Like that. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So now I've got this big serrated knife, which is basically just, like a double-sided bread knife. And I'm going to go ahead and start uncapping. Alright. So you can see now I've got one side of the frame uncapped. I'll spin it around and uncap the other side. Now the reason we extract this way is to preserve as much of the comb as possible so that we can give it back to the bees and then they can reuse it. There's also other methods like the crush and strain method where you would scrape off all of the the comb, and you would basically just throw the crushed up comb and honey into a strainer, let it all drip out, and then harvest it that way. The problem with that is that it takes a lot of effort for bees to make comb, so we want to keep the comb intact if at all possible, so that way they can focus their energy on gathering more honey rather than gathering the resources that they need to build more comb. So I need to uncap one more frame here to fill up my extractor again. Now one thing that's kind of interesting is that if you look at different frames, you might notice that the wax is different colors. Like the wax in this frame is almost all white, where the wax in the previous frame was kind of like a darker black color. And the reason for that is because the black comb has been used as brood comb. So brood comb and honeycomb have different properties, but they will often take used up brood comb and turn it into honeycomb. They'll use it for honey, let's say. You'll get two different kinds of waxes out of a hive. you know, the darker comb is the bird comb, and the lighter comb is the wax comb. Another thing that's interesting is that a lot of people put what they call queen excluders on their honey supers. So the boxes on top where the bees put the honey, they will put a device in between the boxes that keeps the queen out. I personally don't do that. I don't like to keep the queen out of parts of the hive. To me, I don't care if my honey is a little darker because it was stored in bird comb. I prefer leaving her unrestricted and let her kind of do what she wants to do. This particular queen, she will lay all throughout the hive, all up in the top honey supers, which is unusual, but she just makes so many bees that she runs out of places to lay. So that's why, you know, my honey might be a little bit darker than a lot of the honey from the area typically. But what I'm doing here is that some of the low spots that I couldn't get with the knife, I'm just uncapping it manually with this guy, which is just, you know, basically a bunch of pins sticking out of a piece of plastic, and that's what you can use to slide under and uncap the frames that don't get uncapped by the knife because they're too low, or, you know, whatever. So now I've got some frames back in there, and I'm going to go ahead and shut it. I have it set